When you look at a lot of these research articles on either some kind of bone-related disorder like osteoporosis, osteopenia, or a bone stress injury that you developed from just taxing yourself too much and breaking down the bone more quickly than it can repair itself, you'll see a term in there called, you need to stimulate bone growth, you need to achieve adequate strain intensity. What that means is, depending on what current level you're at in terms of overall bone strength, you need to then exceed that to create a stimulus that's going to increase overall bone mineral density. So it really depends on where you're starting from to know what the next best step is. For the people that have never incorporated any kind of strength training in the past, doing a basic body weight squat could be that first step to start to load and to stimulate some kind of bone growth. So just to show you here, a regular body weight squat, if you're not familiar with strength training or any kind of body weight exercise at home, sitting back, butt back, feet about just hip width or slightly wider, toes out, and just dropping down into that squat position. Again, as we get down, muscles, tendons, starting to pull on the bones here to start to stimulate and stress those bones in a healthy way so then we can build more bone density. That's kind of the first step. So implementing that in your program, again, either once in the morning, once a night, every few days, just finding a regimen that works for you to do this consistently. Next step from there, or those of you that maybe are doing some kind of body weight squats, is adding more load and resistance onto that movement. So what I find for a lot of people, the goblet squat is a very good next step. So if you have a dumbbell, and obviously we want to start light and then consistently progress forward as you become more confident and capable with that movement, holding the dumbbell to the chest. Again, more load than the body weight version that I showed a second ago, but now you can see I'm stressing and increasing the intensity and the difficulty of the movement by holding more resistance. Just like I mentioned before, again, these movements as gravity acts down and I add weight up here, start to add more of this compressive force on the spine, on the pelvis, on the hips, on the knees, on all these joints and these bones are starting to compress more because I'm adding more resistance to the top. That is the best thing in the end to help stimulate more bone mineral density. Next thing we can do from there, again, this is usually a point where once people get intermediate advanced level, we start to put them in because now we're adding a barbell in the back, a little bit more challenging, a little bit more intimidating as well, but a very good next step as you move from body weight squats to goblet squats, then to a back squat. So here, if I'm holding the bar a little wider than shoulder width, I can go and put that bar right across the back of the shoulders. Same exact movement. The movement never changes, but as you can see, I'm increasing the intensity or the challenge on the movement in a slow and progressive way. So with the squat, again, bars across the back of the shoulders, same exact position, feet about hip width or slightly wider, toes out, and then I'm going to complete my same repetitions. Again, what I would do first with all of these movements, start light, go a little bit higher with your repetitions, and then as you increase the weight of the movement, you're dropping the repetition so you can increase more weight. Because as we increase load, we increase compressive forces, and in the end, that's a good recipe to then stimulate the bones in a healthy and progressive way to improve overall bone mineral density.